As I reflect on my last days as an elementary school student, I have realized how great these years have been. Through the ups and downs, I have truly loved my time at Fenn. I could have not have asked for a better experience. I have enjoyed every minute, from the difficulty of the football season to the triumph of winning this year's lacrosse tournament. It cannot have been any better. I have a few top-of-the-list memories from my 4 years here at Fenn. I remember in 4th grade, Smitty and Charlie Fitz messing around, and Smitty ending up on the ground after Charlie whipped a blue rolling chair at him. In 5th grade, Mr. Bird sprayed our class with the Great White, and this year I had one of my best memories yet, winning the lacrosse tournament. I remember seeing the bright blue skies, the leaves falling, and my classmates running around outside. It was a beautiful day back in 2009, only a month into my first year at Fenn. Ben Smith, or Smitty, cracked a joke about someone's work ethic, and Charlie Fitz took offense to that, even though it wasn't him. Charlie sprang up like a cork out of a bottle and started running around the room, and Mr. Smith gave chase. And I believe at one point during the high-speed chase around the upstairs classrooms in the lower school, that Charlie jumped over a desk with a student in it, and Smitty simply could not. Charlie was out of breath back in our classroom when Smitty stomped in out of breath as well. Charlie took the only means of defending himself and rolled a blue, cushioned chair at Smitty. Mr. Smith, trying to be heroic, attempted to jump over the chair coming at him and failed. Mr. Smith, his ego the only thing hurt, bounced back up and let Charlie run around the class while he started to calm us back down. After all, we were all on the floor laughing about what just happened. The day went on, and all we could talk about was Smitty not being able to jump over a petty little chair. Mr. Smith is an awesome teacher and a better friend. I am very excited that he's going to be teaching 9th grade student life course next year. On a somewhat related note, I had a wonderful time this year with the Big Brother program here at Fenn. I have bonded quite well with my little brother, Oscar Patton. I hope that he loved his first year at Fenn as much as I did. He also is Mr. Smith's advisor. I will always remember Smitty as a friend, mentor, and a great teacher. In the week before our class went to Mara Vista, a camp in New Hampshire where the 5th graders go every year with a week left in school, I was sitting in the front row of Mr. Bird's language arts class and not paying attention. Summer was so close. I found myself talking to Alex Hill, when Mr. Bird asked me to turn around, and I did. My red, embarrassed face was met with something very cold and wet. "Ah!" I screamed out in absolute surprise. "What was that?" I yelled at Mr. Bird. He calmly replied, "Nah, good. Now you're paying attention." His drastic actions confused me so much that I had to press for more info. I kept asking, "What was that?" After the 3rd time I asked him, he stated, "That was the Great White." "What?" "It's a mere super soaker, shaped and colored like a great white shark. Now, relax." "Oh, okay." Although it may not seem all that funny, I have vivid memories of all my classmates laughing with me. I had a great 5th grade year. I learned so much about brain and brain functions. I think I grew the most in my 5th grade year than I did in all my years at Fenn. I was all situated and all comfortable, and I knew my classmates well. Just 2 weekends ago, the Fenn varsity lacrosse team traveled out to the Fay School in Southborough for the 2014 New England Junior School Lacrosse Tournament. We were all really excited and a bit nervous. We had lost to 2 of the 4 other teams that were attending the tournament. Fezzy and Hillside had beaten us this year. The other 2 teams that were playing were the host school, Fay, and a private school from Connecticut, Indian Mountain. We had beat Fay rather easily when you play them in the first part of the season. We don't play Indian Mountain during the season, so we didn't know what to expect. We had somewhat of a scouting report, and that was this year's team was one of their most skilled and talented teams they've ever had. In our first game, we played Hillside. We had scrimmaged them in our first exhibition game. We lost in the final moments, 6-7. But this time we knew what to expect. We came out firing and went up early, 2-0. Hillside came back with some good goals and took the lead, 2-3. In the final seconds of the game, we have the ball behind X. Connor Zakar makes a great cut to the net, and Zach Corno finds him on the crease, and Connor finishes to tie tie the game at 3 as the game ends. After a close finish against Hillside, we had to go right into another game against Shore. It was not a good game. We won easily. Then we had another game right after that. It was against Indian Mountain. We did not play them this year, but we knew they were going to have the best team they had in years. We started a little slow considering that it was a third game in 2 hours. We fell behind early, 1-0, and brought it back to tie 1-1. The game ended that way. We had not lost a game. We had a 1-game break where we rested for our biggest game of the season, Fezzi. We were ready for them this time and came out firing. We went up early 3-0. Fezzi battled back and had the ball in our end with the score at 3-2. One of their attackmen there was an errant pass and that sails out of bounds as the clock strikes zeros. We won. Then we had another game break and then we played Fay. It was much like the Shore game. We knew we were the better team from the first face-off. We would watch the game right after ours, which would determine who we would play in the final. It was between Hillside and Fezzi. Hillside started out very fast in a matter of 2 minutes. They were up 4-0. Fezzi didn't roll over. The final score was 4-5 Fezzi. They brought it back and won. We would play them in the final for a great rematch of our fourth game. But this year we would not be defeated. We started out fast and the score at half was 5-0. We had this in the bag. In the first half, Fezzi didn't have the ball in our end. Never mind, have the ball. After a 2-minute break, we went back to it. Fezzi won the first face-off, but turned the ball over after an errant shot. We would clear the ball out of our zone and score. Fezzi, on the following face-off, would come down and score their only goal. The game would end, and we won 7-1. There are no words to describe the way that I was feeling after that game. Some of my best friends are moving on to new schools, while others are staying. Change is really tough for everyone. This year and next, there has/will be a lot of changes made. This year, the school was surprised, saddened, and disappointed that Mr. Patch didn't come back to teach this year. It was nice to see him again in the fall when he came back. Another change was losing Mr. Lopresti. He suffered a stroke and had a very slow recovery time. He's not only my tutor, but he was also like the grandfather that I never had. I love Fen and I'm staying for more. I am super excited for 9th grade, for a few reasons. 1, I get to beat Fezzi again next year. 2, a bunch of my buddies are staying. And 3, it's the start of something new.